Hello, and welcome to episode 12 of Tom's Hirschsprung's podcast. My guest this week is Aliz David, who is also known as the Chronically Fit Coach on Instagram, specialising in holistic health and well-being, as well as empowering people with their chronic health conditions. Aliz, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for the invite.
Before we go into your story, if we start with where you are now as the chronically fit coach, why did you get into health and well-being and fitness?
So, I was diagnosed with IBD, Crohn's disease, in 2012, and it was very like everyone else. I was absolutely devastated. I was 21 that time, 22, and I had my daughter, and a lot of times I just struggled. I got medication. Doctors, when I first had like just a basic ultrasound scan, the lady told me, was like, this is definitely Crohn's, which is like normally we don't diagnose Crohn's on an ultrasound, but she there and then said, was like, it's definitely Crohn's disease. Um, that image or that recording should be taught on the university, and I never heard about that condition before, which is like, you can imagine, it freaked me out. I was
Yeah,
like, what is that? How do you treat it? What are you doing? And she looked at me like, oh, you poor thing. And then it was like, well, sometimes medication, sometimes surgery. I was like, but obviously I let you speak to your doctor and see, I was like, what is the next steps for you? And then straight away I was referred to the gastroenterology. I was admitted to the hospital for a week, infusion for Medrol. And then I got medication, and then I was kind of let go with like, okay, we're gonna monitor you. You can go and live your life however you can. Let us know if there is any issues. So I didn't really get any help and so on. And my boyfriend at that time was very into fitness, and like he was that sort of person that liked to do research and educate himself on different things. And then when he learned that I have got IBD, he was like, okay, let's see what you can do to make you feel better, because all I've done is just maybe go to work and sleep. And yeah, my energy levels were bad. My like appetite was bad. I didn't know how to manage it. And when we moved to the UK, I was like, right, so this is the time. So it's like change of environment, new life, new chances. It's like, right, so this is my time. Like, I want to start exercising. I want to start looking into dieting. Because he was saying, was like, if you have got a healthy diet and you exercise, it's like you probably can manage it. And like he had like a naughty comment, was like, and then you would have an ass as well. And I'm like, great, thanks. But I couldn't be mad, because he was right. Like I didn't look healthy, I didn't feel healthy, I didn't have the energy to take my daughter to the playground or do anything with her, because my stomach was hurting no matter what medication I was taking. I was tired. I was like I was in a situation which a lot of other people is like, I can't do anything. And the first time when I started exercising, all we done is just got a kettlebell that I started doing some resistance training at home, and then I started doing paleo diet, which was kind of helpful. It was very restrictive for me, so I still lost a lot of weight, but my symptoms were gone, which was obviously, I went from processed junk food, inflammatory foods, to the other side of the nutrition. And I adapted my lifestyle to that completely, which is like, obviously it's not going to be like a one-day process. But over the years, I've got into remission. So I started going to the gym. I started getting stronger. I had more energy. So obviously, I wasn't like full of energy, but I managed to stay consistent with my workouts. I managed to go a day or two without naps, and then eventually I didn't have to have a nap. Which was a big thing. And then now, since I'm in remission, I actually can do stuff with my children, which is amazing. So I gained a lot of passion about fitness and nutrition, and I've learned a lot of, like, I done a lot of courses around sports medicine, nutrition, and so on. And in the past year or two, more than 2 years now, it's like I'm specializing in IBD and chronic conditions as well. So I'm a qualified GP referral coach now, and also level 5 nutritionist, which is specializing in gut health, specializing in women's fitness, women's nutrition, and many things I can't even list it.
Everything.
Well, not everything, but I'm getting there, I think.
That's brilliant. I mean, there's two things that I pick out from there, and two parts, especially when people start fitness or restart fitness, two issues that they tend to struggle with are they either start too quickly or too large and not stay consistent. And those are two things that you did. Started small, said with the kettlebell, started with sort of small weights, and you kept it consistent. And I think that they sound harder than no, they sound easier than they are, is to try and stay consistent with that, which is
Yeah.
which is so important. Did you find that it was easy to stay consistent? Did you have a routine, or how did that go?
Very interesting. Now you're mentioning that, I do recall that obviously when I started exercising at home, and I'm not talking about a lot of exercise. So basically, I asked my boyfriend to, okay, show me some exercises that I can do. Then we looked up online kettlebell workouts, kettlebell exercises that I can do at home. Now, that time, obviously, we moved from Hungary, so we rented a room. So I didn't have too much space to do exercise. We lived in, like, it wasn't even a double room. Okay. And we shared a room. We had a little space where I could do squats, lunges, push-ups, sit-ups, like general exercises. And I did the same mistake as a lot of people. That I started doing exercise every single day. And it very quickly depleted my not much energy. And that he was saying was like, well, you shouldn't be exercising every day anyway, so why don't you do rest days? I was like, oh, does that work? I was like, yeah, of course. So then we done agreement that one day I'm exercising, he cooks dinner, and the other evening I'm cooking dinner. He didn't exercise in the room, but yeah, it was like helping and helped me staying consistent as well. And that helped me a lot to manage my energy and just make sure that, yeah, I stay consistent. And after that, it was much easier, well, not much easier, but easier. And for like 6 months when we moved from London to Crawley, that's where I said it was like, right now, we joining up in the gym, because I felt like ready. It was like, okay, I am lean, I lost body fat, I just want to be stronger. And that was a great step, because then I had more variety of workout. I started doing more complicated exercises. I started increasing the weight instead of like having one, what was that, 8 kilo kettlebell. I started lifting more and more weights, which was beneficial. And I still struggled with fatigue a lot and like mild flares. Bear in mind, since I moved to the UK, I didn't take any medication because I didn't have a doctor here. I I didn't like it. I didn't feel much better from it, if I'm honest. And and not suggesting that everyone to do the same, but this is just my story and was my decision. And then over the time, like I still needed the naps. So I went to work, I woke up early, went to work, do the afternoon school run, and I needed a nap before I went to the gym. But like for me to realizing that, okay, before workout, I'm tired, I've got tummy pains, I've got symptoms, this and that. And after workout, I don't. So I went to work out to not have a tummy pain and make sure I'm sleeping well. And after, as I learned more and more, I got really, so I've got ADHD as well, as now we know. I got very, very miserable at my workplace. So I worked in a coffee shop. It was very high demand, so it was a very busy coffee shop. It wasn't for spoonies who has got fluctuating energy levels. And like I had, I don't know, because of that or ADHD or fatigue or anything, but I had issues with the management. So it's like they didn't understand me. And I didn't blame, like I never blamed my fatigue or anything on my, like I can't do this, I can't do that. I tried to keep up. I wanted to be normal. So I never had this issue that, oh, I'm ill, I can't do that. This and I can't do that. Now I'm trying to advocate for myself a little bit more because I do understand that it can lead to burnout or a flare up. But there and then it was just my motif that I want to feel normal. I want to be normal. And then that consistency, even if I had a bad day, I had more symptoms or anything, I always kept in mind like how I'm gonna feel after. And a lot of people, that's what I'm teaching for my clients as well, that there and then you might not feel like it, you feel tired, someone pissed you off at your workplace, you don't want to do it, but like the difference, like how you feel now and how you're gonna feel after the workout is like how you make your decision if you go or if you not go. It's a big difference. And yeah, I think that's what I understood at the early stages, that yeah, if I'm giving up, I'm gonna be tired anyway, so might as well do it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And if we go back a step or so, were you into sports as a child as well, or is this something that's happened later on in life?
No, I was an overweight child, I was asthmatic, I didn't want to do PE when I was in school. I always tried to was like, oh, I don't want to do it. And then my mom was like, oh, she's asthmatic, let her not to do PE. And my teacher knew, like obviously, she must have learned it that time as well, that it actually helps because I was overweight. It worsens asthma, it worsens anything. And I still took apart PE lessons, and a lot of times like we played volleyball, for example, and my teacher was obsessed with volleyball. And when I went to secondary school, I was so skilled volleyball player that my PE teacher there was like, Alice, can you join the team and then come and help us win? And I'm like, nah, nah, I was just not interested. I was interested in dancing. I really, really enjoy dancing and still do. Um, but my parents try to force me doing more like swimming or stuff because I've got already broad shoulders, so I'm already built like that, so wide back, wide shoulders. I like swimming, but not if like I had to. It's
Right.
like a lot of people was like, oh, if you have to do something, you don't want to do it. And then if it was just through the summer, we had a swimming pool, you couldn't take me out of the swimming pool. So I did like swimming, but on my own terms.
Yeah.
So it was very different, but I did want to go like dancing and stuff. My parents didn't let me, and then I was just like, no, I'm not interested. Which was, yeah, it's very interesting. I wasn't into any sports.
No, not at all. Not at all. So, and then very much found, did you find that you were more then into individual sports? So you said about going into sort of PT work, um, which obviously in itself is very individual. Do you prefer individual sports or individual exercise now rather than teamwork?
Um, I'm not gonna lie, I never really done like classes until I started teaching them. So now I only recently started yoga, hot pot yoga, and now I'm obsessed with it. Like, obviously now I learned that I shouldn't compare myself to other people who's got better balance, who is more flexible or anything. I'm not flexible at all. My balance is utterly shit. Um, so it's not my strength. I'm there to improve it, and I'm trying to like get better at certain moves. Like I'm not like totally terrible, but I'm conscious, like obviously I'm not going to post any yoga workouts anytime soon because that's not my strength. Yeah, I always started, like I always did like weightlifting, about bodybuilding, and that's what I've done for almost 10 years. Never really done anything else. Lately I was, because I'm working as a PT now for like 9 years, sorry. When my life evolves around the gym and lifting weights, like my work, my social life, my own hobby, it it got kind of gray, and that's where I started looking into different uh type of exercises as well, so just for enjoyment. So if it's like a dance class, I will sign up. That's why I tried yoga. Like I'm trying to, like I go swimming with my kids as well, and even if it's a rest day, I'm trying to plan an active rest day with my kids, like we're going jumping, play the trampoline, just to get the heart rate up, just to move around instead of just laying in the bed all day and not doing anything. So I do find it's quite important.
Definitely, definitely. And it's good as well. I tend to find, and I found this when teaching as well. You tend to teach sport all day, or PT, or PE, or whatever it might be, and then almost forget to, or don't have enough time to then do it yourself. So I find that it's really important as well that you do get the time to work on your own fitness and your own activities, and as you've said, the dancing and the yoga. Um, so yeah, I think having a timetable and making sure that you find time for you as well is really important.
Yes, I do agree. So one is, don't forget to enjoy your physical activity, and the other thing that people often think that, oh, you are a PT, you are a instructor, you probably can exercise like, yeah, but when I have got like 8 clients a day, mm, or classes or this and that, I don't have time either. So I do have commitments. I have to drop off the child to school. I have to pick up my child to school. So I only have got so much me time as well. So it doesn't mean that I can exercise all the time. And yes, blocking out time for your workouts is so important, because it's an appointment. It's like you go to the hairdresser, you go to the dentist, or like something for your well-being or self-care. Um, same as like you block out time, was like, no, I'm gonna exercise this and this time, and then yeah, of course you can move it if anything comes up, but it's like, for me, it's just become such a non-negotiable.
Yeah, definitely. I read in your opening part on Instagram that you specialize in, and I know I said at the start as well, specialize in holistic health and well-being. For those who are sort of unsure what holistic health and well-being is, what would you say to sort of sum up what that means?
Yeah, a lot of people, they think was like, oh, trying to teach something woo-woo or anything like this. No, holistic approach is basically anything outside the medical, the medicine journal. It's holistic approach for me is looking after your body with nutrition, with exercise. So movement is medicine, food is medicine, mindfulness is medicine. So sleep is medicine. So looking after these habits and making sure that you have got the optimal environmental factors in order to support your healing, whether you take medication or not. Um, but I do believe that until you start focusing on these aspects of your life, you can take whatever medication your doctor's giving you, you're not gonna feel that much better.
Yeah, definitely. And I think as that's an important point you bring up, that when you see people are personal trainers and they specialize in exercise and whatever it might be, the the very best of which you definitely seem to be, take into account lifestyle, they take into account sleep, they take into account so many other things rather than just running, jumping, sprinting, throwing, lifting, whatever it might be.
Or
Would
calorie
you,
deficit.
sorry?
Or the calorie deficit, they talk about it all the time.
Definitely, yeah. So it seems as though you take a lot of things into account when teaching people, when assessing people. Do you do sort of like a pre if you have a client for the first time, do you do sort of an assessment and sort of questionnaire, or do you just sort of ask them, how much sleep do you get, diet, etc., etc.?
So yeah, so when a client wants to sign up with me, obviously I am trying to filter out if the client is right fit for my coaching or not, because it can be from many reasons that they are not the right fit. One reason we don't get along. Second reason, her or his condition is way more complicated that I can support online. Or the third condition is that she or he is not committed enough. So when a client is committed and it's the right fit for my coaching, so I already get a lot of information. Like, for example, you are a client, I get a lot of information about you. It's like, what are your goals? What are your struggles? And what is your lifestyle like? And then when the client signs up, they fill out a consultation form, which is like a lifestyle questionnaire, like any nutritional needs, requirements, any medications, what conditions, stress levels, sleep levels, how many meals they are eating a day, and many other questions. So it's quite long. So they tend to take it very short and not giving me too much information. But obviously, throughout the first week or two, when I give them a program, it's gonna be a trial error. So I'm giving a program, keeping in touch with the client, because I don't know the client that time. I'm gonna know better in a month, 2 or 3 months, but there and then I am trying to tap in. I was like, okay, this is the, like, by my knowledge, but from what I've learned, from what I've experienced with other clients, and then fine tuning their program to see what is the best for them. Like, depends on what they struggle with. Is it staying consistent? Is it staying eating enough? Is it energy? Is it sleep? Why is the sleep? So a lot of people, they think was like, here you go, here is your program, and then it's sorted out. Even if it's just a basic fat loss program, that's not gonna work. So it's like, for me to give you an individualized program, I need to ask questions, I need to get to know you, I need to, it's like a relationship, to be fair. It's like, okay, we are right fit, let's work together, let's work on the issues, let's work on, like, fine tuning, make compromises, make adjustments. Let's, okay, is that better, is that worse, what is that you can do? And I think it's very important to understand that you're working with someone who supports you, and someone who is having a lot of knowledge, but still has to get knowledge about you, if that makes sense.
Definitely. Yes, absolutely, definitely. And just finally, my last question really, for the future of your business, where do you see the future of your PT business going?
So I'm really hoping that I can help more people online. So there is more programs in the line. What I found with one-to-one coaching, which is obviously the most personalized, but a lot of times it's quite draining on people's bank account, because if you want to do consistently, like, coaching and stuff, even if it's like you break down on daily costs, it's like a coffee a day at the Starbucks. But a lot of people need a lot more knowledge in general. And what I'm trying to do is doing, like, group coaching programs where I can collectively spread information, other than my Instagram account, because that's so general as well. Like, I cannot put out so much information that people need to know, but also, like, just make sure I'm giving more and more value, as because I'm only just one person, so I only can do so much, of course. One-to-one coaching is definitely something I do. I do enjoy personal training at the local gym in K2, which is a great for people who want to learn, and they need more confidence, like, oh, I want to do exercise, but I'm scared to make my illness worse, which is also like, I reassure people that they can be guided online. So I've got the tools for that as well. But yeah, it's just like, trying to help people one-to-one and in group coaching as well.
Brilliant. And just lastly, where can people find you? What is the best place for people to find you?
So I believe that's Instagram at Chronically Fit Coach, the Chronically Fit Coach, and through the links you can find different ways to book. So if you want to do like PT sessions and you are around the area, you can book a PT taster session with me, or you can book a discovery call, which is both completely free. So if you have got questions, just pick my brain on what could be the right direction for you, then yeah, it's there.
Brilliant. Well, I wish you best of luck with your PT business in the future, and thank you ever so much for joining me.
Thank you.